Is your judgmental thinking making you miserable? Then this video has got the antidote. The how of practicing acceptance with willingness. Let's practice. Hey there, Mindful Masters, and welcome back for your second experiential skills clip on your journey to mastering adulthood, the skills we all need sometimes to go beyond adulting and become an emotional grown-up. If you haven't got the book yet, do click the link and join us in mapping out your journey of self-discovery and emotional self-care. In this chapter, we've been talking all about those judgmental thoughts we all have and how they can make just about any kind of discomfort feel way worse. So the antidote is practicing acceptance. But how does one practice this amorphous thing called acceptance? Remember, practicing acceptance is not the same as wanting, wishing, or approving of something. Acceptance begins by simply acknowledging the situation and or your experience of it is in fact happening, and then letting go of the judgments and other efforts to push away that experience in the present moment. Acceptance is a highly unintuitive skill, precisely because it is asking us to do the opposite of what our minds and bodies are programmed to do when faced with stress and distress. That's why you don't naturally know how to do it, and it's highly unlikely that anyone's ever taught you. If you've ever learned how to snow ski, you might recall that terrifying moment when you're told that you have to lean downhill to regain a sense of control. Everything in you wants to lean back and away from the danger, but that's not the effective thing to do. It's also a little bit like windsurfing. Fighting against the wind is not going to work. The key is to work with the laws of nature and catch the wind in your sails. That is what acceptance is like. But to really know in your bones that felt sense of the difference between entangling in the judgmental struggle versus leaning in with acceptance, you have to practice with your here and now experience. So, are you willing? Great, let's practice. I invite you to take a comfortable seated position with both feet flat on the floor and your hands comfortably in your lap, head and neck in alignment. And let's gently close our eyes to begin this practice.
Let's begin this practice by getting centered with a deep belly breath. In order to practice and get a really felt sense of willingness as the active component of acceptance, we have to work with your own here and now experience. So, I'd like you to bring to mind a recent situation or event in your life that caused you mild to moderate distress or discomfort. Nothing too serious as we're getting started here, just enough to notice a reaction. As best you can, get a clear visual by imagining what was happening, who was there, maybe even the time of day, and really connect to the memory and thoughts of this situation. As you do, allow your mind to generate all the judgments and opinions you have about why this situation was or isn't fair, shouldn't have happened, or maybe even always happens to you. And as you play this movie in your mind, notice the emotions that start to come up. What emotions show up for you around this situation? How strong are they on a scale of 0 to 10? Notice how your body feels in this moment. Take a mental snapshot. Now, continuing to hold the image of the situation, who caused you to be upset, what they did, where it happened. Let's practice. Step 1. In your mind's eye, practice stepping back to the observer place inside of you. Notice and observe how your thoughts about these facts might be triggering certain emotional and physical reactions. Or notice any difficulty you might be having allowing your mind to move towards this difficult situation and thoughts about it. As best you can, simply observe. Notice your own internal experience related to the images and thoughts you brought to mind about the facts of this situation. Feel any bodily tension or resisting of what was or is. Simply notice and take a mental snapshot of how this feels. Step 2. Let's practice. Shifting out of the judgmental struggle and into the open and inviting stance of willingness and acceptance. Turning the palms of your hands from down to up. As best you can, I'd like you to shift your intention from that place where you're pushing away your experience, the tension, the emotions, the struggle. And in your mind's eye, actively lean into the feelings that the situation you're thinking about has triggered. Saying in your mind's eye, bring it on. I am willing to feel these feelings, these emotions, these physical sensations in just this moment. In your own mind, repeat after me again. Bring it on. I am willing to have these feelings, these emotions, these physical sensations in just this moment. Actively inviting in the tension, the emotions, the thoughts. See if you can actually maybe even make the emotions and any related bodily sensations get stronger. Are you willing? As you do, actively invite up your experience. Notice how you feel. Take a mental snapshot and rate your emotion again on a scale of 0 to 10. And taking one last deep belly breath. Whenever you're ready, we can open our eyes.
So, what was that like for you? Could you notice the difference in how it feels to get entangled in the judgmental struggle versus actively choosing to lean into willingness and acceptance? Excellent work. I really congratulate you for diving into this exercise. We'll be coming back to it again in Chapter 8, and I hope you'll make it part of your regular practice. In the meantime, make sure to take a moment to journal about your first experience with this exercise. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment in the comments section and I'll get right back to you. And I will see you back at the book to continue your journey to mastering adulthood.